So I'm Vincent Gache. I'm the CEO of Integral System. We are a French channel partner of Advantech, but also we are dedicated for providing sustainable digital solution to improve the performance of organization through providing computing hardware for industry and software development. But right now, I'm here to talk about maintenance and especially predictive maintenance. But before that, let's talk a bit about history. Since the beginning of the industrial era, factories are experiencing unplanned downtime. And this is a big pain for them, a big issue, because if your production line is stopped, you are stopping producing goods and so on, and that's very difficult. So let's talk about some facts about that. 82% of factories during the last 3 years experience an unplanned downtime for an average duration of 4 hours and an average cost of 200K. Of course, it's depending of the size of the company, the size of the factory, from 10K to 2 million USD. Of course, also, that's not just that. 37% of unplanned downtime generates even more downtime or quality issues or equipment failure or more and more issues. So this is a very important part to address. And as a smart human being, we invented maintenance. And maintenance have several methods, several steps of evolution. So let's talk quickly about that. When we first talked about this webinar, we were talking about Excel to predictive maintenance, but in fact, we have several more steps. The first one, which is reactive, which I call basically fixed it when it's broken, is, I think, still the most used maintenance method in the world. So basically, you fix the equipment when it breaks. So you usually don't fix don't fix the issues of unplanned downtimes. Afterwards, you have preventive maintenance, which could be done by Excel files, but also by, let's say, dedicated piece of software. And this is basically scheduling maintenance tasks to, let's say, avoid those unplanned downtimes. Afterwards, you have condition-based monitoring, which is I'm sure you have heard about. It's IoT, so you connect your equipment and make it communicate to another system, which can send you alarms if something goes wrong. It's not just for good condition. Of course, it can help you your production line, but it also can send you alarms if something goes wrong. And afterward, you have predictive maintenance. So what we want to achieve here is not just sending alarms. It's also warning you that in the next days something gonna be wrong with your equipment. And of course, you have two other steps, which we won't talk about today, but which are prognostic and prescriptive maintenance. Those two are more about what will go wrong in your equipment. And you also need to think about those reactive maintenance, the first steps of the evolution of maintenance. Right now, more than 70% of companies in the world say they don't know exactly when their equipment will be due for maintenance or replacement. So if you check the preventive maintenance, most of the companies are not at these steps. And what we want to achieve, what we want to address with the solution we are presenting today is to say, let's jump to the predictive maintenance in one step. So we are presenting today PHM, which is the name for predictive health maintenance, which is a SaaS solution dedicated on health assessment and prediction for your critical rotating motors. So we are not addressing for the whole maintenance world, but it's really dedicated for your critical rotating motors. And as you know, in a factory, you have many motors. And what is PHM? So basically, it's vibration data analysis plus AI. So it extracts the vibration data from your motor, your engine, and it sends the data to the cloud to an already trained AI which can predict in the next 7 days if something gonna be wrong with your motor. One thing very important that the AI is dedicated to your motor. It's not a shared AI to all the motor in the world. It's just dedicated. Each motor has its own AI model dedicated. And what's the solution on the field? Let's see this simple and open wireless solution. So it's based on, of course, data acquisition. So if you can see on the bottom, vibration sensor, the WISE2410 from Advantech, which is an autonomous sensor. You can just plug it with a magnetic thing on the motor, and it sends data through the LoRaWAN protocol, which Oliver just introduced you. This is a secured by design protocol, and it can also send data up to 5 kilometers, which is very convenient to cover a factory. Also, we added a current meter sensor, which is also fully autonomous and communicating through LoRaWAN. So if you combine those two data and send to a gateway, the LoRaWAN gateway, here it's the WISE6610 from Advantech. The gateway can extract the data from the sensor and send all those to the cloud. And what you can achieve here, you can generate a very simple SaaS dashboard per machine or a global dashboard to see everything, where you can have the health status of your machine, your equipment. You can have a normal detection. Let's say in real time, it's not real time because based on LoRaWAN, which is not a real-time protocol, but you still have alarms if something goes wrong. You have also health prediction, which is the goal that we are trying to achieve here. And of course, if something goes wrong, we don't want you to be all the time in front of your dashboard, so you can set alarms if something gonna be wrong or goes wrong. So to be a little bit more specific and to explain a little bit more in detail what you can do with this very simple solution, let's talk about a use case, a customer, which is an electronic component manufacturer. They installed the solution on pumps, conveyor motors, and they wanted to know if something gonna be wrong with their motors. So we can see in this dashboard, so it's very complicated, but it can be personalized depending on your needs. But this one show with the green arrow the health score of the motor. And if you can check, it's around 75%, which is quite good for this one. But you can also have with the orange arrow the future health score, which is around 50%, which is not that good. So something that maybe the motor is old or something is not going very well. So maybe you can schedule a maintenance task in the future. But what we achieved with this solution, a true scenario was one day they receive an alarm that something gonna be wrong. The prediction dropped, as you can see with the two red arrows. The 7th day prediction was 0% health status, and the second red arrow, you can see that the health status dropped to 0. And so they were saying something gonna be really wrong with your motor. Please check it really quickly. And by the way, that was just a small screw which were not tight enough to fix the motor. So they just tighten it, and everything goes back to normal. So it's this kind of solution that with this kind of solution, we can achieve this kind of things. Of course, you can monitor your energy consumption, the temperature of your motor. You can cross data to manage all of this. The benefits are very simple also. Efficiency, of course, because you improve your unplanned downtimes. Cost saving, because of course you are saving those unplanned downtimes time. You are extending machine life because, as I mentioned, when something's gonna be wrong, when you have unplanned downtime, usually you have even more downtime because some, let's say, side equipment can be broken by this. You improve the safety, of course, the safety of your production line, but also of your field worker, your operators. And it helps decision making because if you need to make new investment on something, if you need to call your SI to help you fix the future problem, it's very more convenient when you know that it will happen. And for a very simple solution, we have a very simple offer for starter. We have a starter pack, which is for monitoring 3 critical rotating motors. And because we know that's not very easy for people to install and to connect another solution to the OT network. I'm sure Oliver mentioned that the cybersecurity is a very tough question for factories right now. So we bring the autonomous pack, which is basically the same with a 4G router, and so you don't connect the solution to the OT network. It's a side network, and because it's a wireless network, it's not an invasive one. And of course, if you have a dedicated project, let's talk about that.